What did I gain from taking on this complicated little life that I've got going on? When I came out as a lesbian and I was legitimised in the way I moved through the world to a huge degree, it was fantastic. But when I transitioned and the hormones started to take effect and my voice dropped slightly, and I tried my first suit on, it was to the power of 100 to coming out as a lesbian. I do remember feeling that shiny feeling when you come out as a lesbian and you're out and proud and it all makes sense. I didn't have that shiny feeling in quite the same way. It was more intense and a deeper feeling of truth, I think. So that was a big plus. But I guess the thing about gender is that it never goes away, and so you have to, when you see some of the good things that come from it, the interesting people that you meet, real people I call them, you have to enjoy that, because as much as I want to be able to say there's lots of really great things about being a tranny, and there are, you see the world in a very different way. I think it gives you a perspective that, or a way of looking through the world that is, I think, valuable to the world if they want to hear it. But it's also very tricky, and I don't want to gild the lily about any of this. I think it's important to talk about the good things, but we've got a long way to go, this community, to get to a spot where people aren't afraid to walk out their front door. And that's where I'm at the moment. Not that I'm afraid to walk out my front door, but the energy that it takes is phenomenal. And yeah, so yes, there are some positive things, but my God, we've got a long way to go. So I'd love to be more positive. I'd love to have a great spin on it for all the people that are going through a coming out gender process or acknowledgement of gender issues. The best thing you can do is look deep into your heart and go, yep, is that an inevitable truth about me? Is this always the road I was going to go down? And if it is, go for it, because there are some good things and you will meet some great people. And make sure that you do find the people that you can relate to. But don't be under any illusion that it's going to solve everything, because it just ain't. Nothing can prepare you for it. Not very positive, but it's just the way it is. Jenny wants to know how I identify today and how that may have changed over the course of my journey. Well, I think I've already talked about having come out as a leso. I was in a very straight relationship for a while. It's interesting that we always tend to bring up sexuality when we talk about identity, and so to me that just says that sexuality's under that big umbrella of gender. I think I find putting myself in a box more and more difficult. I'm just bent I prefer to be seen as male. I don't know how bio men often operate in the world, or I come up against the way they operate in the world, and I don't know all the social mores. It feels a bit dangerous at times, other times it feels quite comfortable. So, where do I stand? I like girls and boys, and I'm just a gender fucker. I'm looking at the camera. Is that good? Good. So, the next question was, have I experienced, what was it? Transphobia, violence, discrimination? I have to say yes, unfortunately, on all three counts. Often the transphobia is dressed up as homophobia out there in the rest of the world. I often have problems with that if I get myself in paid employment and it's eventually the undoing of me, because they know there's something weird and I become a target and I'm short and all those things that bio men aren't. Although there's lots of short bio men out there, but they don't sound like me, they don't talk like me, they don't relate to people like me, so what they see is, in their narrow-minded world, is a poofter. So that's a bittersweet thing, because I do like boys. But I hate the fact that my gender is warped like that out there. And yeah, so that's really undermined my ability to be in paid employment. So I end up working for myself. I can make things, but I'm a bad business person. In terms of violence, again, it's that homophobia dressed up as transphobia that means people think they can push you around physically because you seem to be weak in some way, and it takes a lot of energy to keep your dignity and behave the way a good human being should, when sometimes all you want to do is punch their fucking lights out, or have someone hold them down so you can kick the shit out of them. But that's not appropriate. So yeah, discrimination as Rebecca, and discrimination as Daniel has always caught up with me along the line. And yeah, violence, second last job I had, I got assaulted in the car park at work, and it's it's just inconvenient. It's embarrassing. It's humiliating. And just so unnecessary, really. That's about all I've got to say about that.